So, picture this, Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, versus Jake Paul, the kid who made a career out of filming himself doing dumb stuff online. It's like Godzilla versus, I don't know, a really annoying pigeon. On paper, it's a mismatch of epic proportions. One guy used to bite ears, the other one makes TikToks. But here's the thing about boxing and life, really. It's full of surprises. Remember that time Buster Douglas knocked out Tyson? No one saw that coming. And let's be honest, nobody thought Paul would last 5 minutes with a real fighter like Tyron Woodley. And yet, here we are. This fight is more than just a boxing match. It's a clash of generations, a spectacle that's got the whole world talking. It's the kind of thing you tell your grandkids about, assuming you're not too busy watching it on pay-per-view, that is. And you know what? I kind of love it. It's ridiculous, it's unpredictable, and it's gonna be one hell of a show. So grab your popcorn, folks, because this is gonna be good. Let's talk about Mike Tyson for a second. The guy's a legend. He's the epitome of a self-made man. He came from nothing, grew up in the toughest streets of Brooklyn, and clawed his way to the top of the boxing world. He was knocking out guys in the first round when he was barely old enough to shave. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at 20 years old. He was a force of nature, a human wrecking ball with fists of fury. He was intimidating, he was controversial, and he was must-see TV. But then, life happened. He went through some tough times, made some bad decisions, had a few run-ins with the law, but through it all he never gave up. He reinvented himself, became a pop culture icon, starred in movies, did cartoons, the whole 9 yards, and now, at 55 years old, he's back in the ring facing off against a guy who wasn't even born when he was in his prime. It's crazy, right? But that's Mike Tyson for you. Always unpredictable, always entertaining. Now, let's talk about Jake Paul. I'll be honest, I don't really get this guy. He's one of those YouTube stars, right? Made a fortune filming himself, doing pranks and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for people making a living doing what they love. But boxing, come on man. But hey, who am I to judge? The kid can fight. He's knocked out a few washed-up NBA players, a former wrestler, and even a couple of real boxers. He's got decent power, a good chin, and he's not afraid to get hit. He's also a master of self-promotion. He knows how to get under people's skin, how to create hype, how to sell a fight. He's got millions of followers online, and they all tune in to watch him fight. Is he the next Muhammad Ali? Not even close. But he's a legitimate draw, and he's bringing a whole new audience to the sport of boxing. And you know what? Good for him. All right, let's break this down, folks. On one hand, you've got Mike Tyson, 5 feet 10 inches, 220 pounds, with a record of 50 wins, 6 losses, 44 knockouts. The guy's a walking highlight reel. He's got the power of a runaway freight train and the speed of a jackrabbit on espresso. On the other hand, you've got Jake Paul, 6 feet 1 inch, 190 pounds, with a record of 6 wins, 0 losses, 4 knockouts. He's younger, he's taller, and he's got a longer reach. Plus, he's been more active in the ring lately. But here's the thing, stats don't tell the whole story. Tyson's been in the ring with the best of the best. He's fought legends like Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. He's faced adversity, he's tasted his own blood, he's been through hell and back. Paul, on the other hand, has mostly fought guys who are past their prime or, let's be honest, not really boxers at all. He's never faced anyone with Tyson's power, speed, or experience. This is a whole different ballgame, folks. So how does this fight actually play out? Well, if Tyson comes out like a bat out of hell like he did in his prime, it could be a very short night for Jake Paul. One good shot from Iron Mike and it's curtains. But let's be real, Tyson's not a young buck anymore. He's 55 years old. He's not gonna have the same stamina, the same speed, the same explosiveness he had back in the day. Paul, on the other hand, is younger, faster, and he's got that reach advantage. If he can use his jab to keep Tyson at bay, avoid those power shots, and maybe tire him out a bit, he might have a chance. But that's a big if. Tyson's got that experience, that ring IQ, that killer instinct. He knows how to cut off the ring, how to work the body, how to find that one shot that can end it all. It's a classic clash of styles, the young lion versus the old lion, the up-and-comer with everything to prove against the legend with nothing left to lose. It's gonna be a chess match, a battle of wills, a fight for the ages. Now let's talk about the mental game, because that's half the battle in boxing. Both Tyson and Paul are masters of trash talk. They know how to get under each other's skin, how to play the media, how to create hype. Tyson's been known to intimidate his opponents with his stare, his demeanor, his whole aura. He's the kind of guy who can make you doubt yourself before you even step into the ring. Paul, on the other hand, is more of a modern trash talker. He's all over social media, calling out his opponents, making fun of them, getting in their heads. He's like that annoying little brother who knows how to push your buttons. This fight is going to be as much about mental toughness as it is about physical ability. Whoever can stay calm, focused, and in control of their emotions will have a huge advantage. It's going to be a battle of wits, a war of words, a psychological thriller playing out in front of millions of people. Get your popcorn ready, folks, because this is going to be good. So, what's at stake in this fight? For Tyson, it's a chance to cement his legacy as one of the greatest boxers of all time. A win over Paul, even at this stage of his career, would be a huge feather in his cap. It would show the world that he's still got it, that he can still compete at a high level, that he's still the baddest man on the planet. For Paul, it's a chance to silence his critics and prove that he's more than just a YouTube star. A win over Tyson would be the biggest victory of his career by far. It would legitimize him as a boxer, shut up all the haters, and make him a global superstar. But a loss? Well, that's a different story. For Tyson, a loss to Paul would be a huge blow to his ego, his legacy, his whole mystique. It would be like watching your childhood hero get knocked out by a guy who used to make slime videos. For Paul, a loss to Tyson wouldn't be the end of the world. He's still young, he's still learning, and he's still got time to improve. But it would definitely set him back, make people question his skills, and maybe even hurt his brand a little bit. Now, let's be honest, this fight is about more than just boxing. It's a cultural phenomenon. It's a clash of generations, a battle between old school and new school, a spectacle that's got the whole world talking. You've got old school boxing fans who remember Tyson in his prime, who are excited to see him back in the ring, even if it's just for one night. And then you've got younger fans who grew up watching Jake Paul on YouTube, who are curious to see what he can do against a legend like Tyson. This fight is bringing together people from all walks of life, from all over the world. It's a reminder that boxing is still the sweet science, a sport that can captivate audiences and transcend cultural boundaries. It's also a sign of the times. In the age of social media, anyone can become a star, even a boxer, and anything can happen in the ring, even if it seems impossible on paper. So, who's gonna win? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. It's a tough one to call. Tyson has the experience, the power, the legacy. Paul has the youth, the size, the momentum. If Tyson can turn back the clock and tap into that old magic, he could definitely knock Paul out. But if Paul can use his size and speed to his advantage, and maybe even land a lucky punch, he could pull off the upset. Or maybe, just maybe, we'll see something completely unexpected. Maybe it'll be a boring fight, a technical snooze fest, maybe it'll end in a draw. Maybe Tyson will bite Paul's ear off. Hey, stranger things have happened, right? The only thing I know for sure is that this fight is going to be entertaining. It's going to be a wild ride, a spectacle for the ages, a night that we'll never forget. Imagine this, the lights dim, the crowd roars, and the announcer bellows, "Let's get ready to rumble." Tyson and Paul, both amped up and ready to throw down, meet in the center of the ring. The tension is palpable, the energy electric, the bell rings, and the fight is on. Tyson, with that familiar look in his eye, comes out swinging, trying to end it early. Paul, surprisingly agile and quick, dances around those haymakers, looking to counter. The rounds go by in a blur of jabs, hooks, and uppercuts. Both fighters have their moments, but neither can deliver that knockout blow. The crowd is on the edge of their seats, their cheers and jeers echoing through the arena. As the final bell rings, both fighters raise their arms in victory, exhausted but exhilarated. The judge's decision is announced, and the winner is... well, that's for you to find out, folks. I'm not gonna spoil the ending. The fight is over, the dust has settled, and the world is still buzzing. Tyson, win or lose, has proven that age is just a number. He's shown that he's still got that fire, that passion, that indomitable spirit. Paul, on the other hand, has gained valuable experience regardless of the outcome. He's tested himself against one of the best to ever do it, and he's learned what it takes to compete at the highest level. So, what's next for these two warriors? Tyson might ride off into the sunset, content with his legacy, or he might be tempted to step back into the ring, fueled by the thrill of the fight. Paul, with his star power still burning bright, will likely continue to pursue big money fights, challenging himself against other boxing stars and maybe even venturing into other combat sports. One thing's for sure, The Tyson versus Paul fight has left an indelible mark on the world of boxing and beyond.